Hi, I'm Chris Mitchell, Product Marketing Manager for Razer and also for OSVR.
Let's first talk about OSVR and what that is.
OSVR is open source virtual reality. It's primarily a software platform that kind of open sourced everything virtual reality and kind of bring together all kinds of input devices, HMDs and game engines to kind of make it all work together.
Talk a little about the partners you guys are working with.
So on partner side of things, basically we have over 50 partners by now. So it ranges on game side of things. We have indies like Tamika games that you see here in the background, but we also have large partners like Gearbox Software, Techland, or now today we announced Ubisoft. So they are large content partners on that side of things. We also got non-game related ones like in cinematic VR, like Jaunt VR. And then on HMD side, we have over 11 different supported HMDs now, from Cast AR to Vuzix to VR Union to Seabright Wave. We also support the Oculus DK2, so there's lots of different HMDs supported. And then the largest amount of partners is actually on the input devices side of things. So there can be like camera-based gesture tracking, like soft kinetic or leap motion. It can be other sorts of motion sensing like SixSense, the Not Lab Bluetooth ring, stuff like that, or even more exotic stuff like locomotion devices like the treadmills that you see with like Vertex or Cyberith. Now today we announced Storms. So there's a bunch of different input devices that we're trying to support. Basically, we're trying to support everything, even audio solutions. We got Visisonics, Impulse Sonics, Sonic VR, all doing different kind of like audio solutions, ultimately all kind of catering to provide the most immersive VR experience possible.
Well, you guys also support things like the new HTC Vive or the Sony Morpheus?
So we definitely want to. We're talking to both Sony and HTC, and we're hoping to be able to support them. Basically, the goal is to support every possible HMD out there.
Can you talk a little about some of the VR demos you guys have here, starting with the one right behind you?
Right behind us is Radial G. It's a demo developed by Tamika Games. It's a UK-based indie game developer, and they're currently in Steam Early Access. And it just uses a controller, standard controller, so no like immersive input device there, but it already brings the head tracking, and you can kind of see how this looks in a virtual reality environment. Other stuff that we're showing off here today is we have a couple of tech demos that use different input devices. We also have Elemental, the one that we showed off at CES, which is like this spell casting demo. So we show different games, but primarily what we want to do is show game developers here at GDC the different types of input devices and that are available, different types of HMDs that are available within the OSVR platform, to show the versatility, give them the opportunity to try it out and kind of figure out what they like and what they prefer in terms of what they want to enable for their game in that sense.
Now, I know right around the corner you've got Soft Kinetic. Can you talk a little about the hand gestures and what's that opening up to video games?
So that's actually, Soft Kinetic. The hand gesture tracking is very similar to what Leap Motion does. And the interesting thing there is that if you put a HMD on any first-time user, the first thing they do is kind of raise their hands and kind of look for them, because that's kind of the first thing that like, okay, like, am I really here? So being able to track your hand movement, arm movement makes it so much more immersive, and it's very intuitive as well, because it's essentially your natural body movement as opposed to trying to adjust, like trying to learn new movement to then translate back into the game.
How far away do you see before games start employing that within their infrastructure?
So some games have already started employing that, mostly on the indie dev side of things. The thing is that it requires kind of a reset of your mindset when you approach game development, because it's not like you don't develop it in a standard type of way. If you do too much hand movement, it can be very, very exhausting and maybe might not be suitable to the masses. If you do too little, then it's not very immersive. So finding the right balance is probably somewhat of a challenge still, and the technology is new. We already see smaller indies go into that. I think we'll see larger game developers probably towards the end of the year or early next year starting to kind of adopt those technologies.